You started writing your book with excitement. You're like, this is it. I'm going to write this. But now maybe you're dragging, maybe you're doubting, maybe you're even contemplating walking away and going, I guess this isn't the book for me. Hold up. Before you do that, watch this video because I have been in all of those places. I have actually walked away from a book and came back, but in this episode, I'm going to share 5 strategies that can help you get back on track, get moving forward again. Now, these aren't fancy, smancy strategies. These are very straightforward, practical mindset and workflow ideas that I've used to help me get back on track, and maybe they'll help you too. Hi, my name is Carma Spence, and I help executive coaches, business leaders, and consultants write the book that only they could write, one that grows their business and leaves a legacy. If you were watching this on YouTube, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and ring the bell so that this video and others like it can get out to more people, helping more people become the authors they were meant to be. So let's get to the first one. This is a simple one you've probably heard before, but basically break down your book into small wins. One thing that I did on Public Speaking Superpowers was I focused on each chapter at a time. Now, that particular book, each chapter could technically stand on its own. It didn't flow one from the other. But even if your chapters do, you can still focus on one chapter. And within that chapter, focus on each subtopic. By breaking your book into smaller wins, you'll get more dopamine hits along the way, and it pulls you through the book. And also, you don't have to do this linearly. You can start with chapter 5, move on to chapter 3, continue on chapter 10, then go back to chapter 1. Do what's pulling you now. Yes, that may mean that you'll save the worst for last or the hardest for last, but it's better to get your book that close to done and then do the hard work last than to have that hard one stop you now from doing all the easier ones. Just saying. You don't have to tackle the whole manuscript at the same time. Tip number 2, placeholders. If you're going along and you hit a bump, like this thing is really hard for me right now. This is sort of an extension of what I just said is put a placeholder, put a pin in that piece and move on to something else. Sometimes what you're going to write next will inform what you're trying to write now, making what you're trying to write now and are stuck at easier to write when you come back to it. So I highly recommend plow through all the easy parts of your book first. That way you have a sense of accomplishment. You've done a fairly good amount of your book. And now those things that you found harder at first may now be easier because you can see them in a larger picture. Number 3, you can go either way on this one. How are you measuring your success? Are you going, I'm going to write for an hour every day? Maybe it would be easier on you if you switched up that particular goal. So instead of writing an hour a day, write half an hour a day, or focus on the number of words you write per day, or, oh, crazy idea, don't write every day. Write 3 times a week, once a week. Change your goals from being daily goals and transform them into weekly goals. And then that way, whenever you have the space, you're working toward a weekly goal rather than, I said I would write 500 words today, or I said I would write an hour today, and you just don't have the time to do that. As long as you're meeting your weekly goal. Now, this may mean you need to adjust that weekly goal because you're not hitting daily goals, but go with what will put the least amount of stress on you, but just enough stress on you to push you forward. You don't want to slack off, but you don't want to put so much pressure on you that it actually curtails your own creativity and flow. Number 4, understand that your first draft is going to be messy. So stop self-editing. Just get it down. Polishing happens after the first draft because your first draft is more often than not your brain dump. It's where you're just like, you're getting it all out. Once it's all out, Then you can polish and fine tune and add in the things you forgot and take out the things you shouldn't have put in there in the first place. That's what the editing phase is for. The writing phase, the first writing phase, that is go, get it out, get it done. Again, what this does is it gives you more dopamine hits while you're going along. That's your happy hormone. And it makes you feel good. It makes you feel accomplished. It makes you feel like you're achieving something. And it's those wins that help pull you through the whole process. And finally, celebrate milestones. This is so important. And I don't mean have a party every time you hit a milestone, but do something that says, I acknowledge I hit this milestone and I'm celebrating it. So in my program, Road Trip to Authority, every week you get a badge. Every time you complete a module, which I've set it up to be a week, it doesn't have to be a week. It could be longer, it could be shorter, but every time you finish a module, you get a badge. This is your little celebration, your mini milestone. I also have a song for each week, so that's kind of fun. If you want more ideas of how to celebrate the different milestones, I did an episode of the Author Switch podcast that was all about celebrating milestones, and I will include a link to that in the show notes. But if you want it sooner, just drop celebration in the comments and I will just send that link to you via DM. So there you go. 5 ways to shift your mindset and your workflow to reinvigorate your book writing process. If you want more ideas along this, check out this next video because it will also tell you a little bit about mindset hacks. This is Carma Spence saying ciao for now.